Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Hammond with PremierGuitar.com. We're at Summer NAMM 2011 in Nashville at the Schneider Guitars booth with Frank Falbo from Seymour Duncan. Frank, how is it going?
It's going well.
Good. And we've got David Schneider from Schneider Guitars here. David, how are you?
Great.
Okay, so we're here today to talk about something that was actually introduced at Winter NAMM from Duncan, the Zephyr pickups, which have all the silver wiring and everything. And you guys made a big deal about those, understandably so. But no one really heard them then, and to our knowledge, your knowledge, these guitars you guys have here are the first, or one of the first, to have them in them, and so we wanted to give our viewers a chance to hear the pickups. You want to tell us a little bit about them and let us hear them?
Sure. Yeah, I think Dave was one of the first guys to actually put them in a guitar, as on the OEM side, and yeah, like you said, the silver wire, cryogenically treated. On the humbuckers, bimetallic pole pieces and glass-filled nylon bobbins. They're unpotted, so they really represent almost kind of the ultimate of transference of the player's dynamics and sort of the wood choices and the tonal properties of the instrument. So yeah, Dave has really done a good job of putting them in a guitar that'll really, kind of highlight that.
Cool. Now, for people who don't know or didn't read the press releases or whatever back then, silver, or if you're like an electronics nerd or whatever, you know that silver is the best conductor of electricity out there, even though most wiring is copper. And then there are cords or cables that have gold plated tips and stuff. Silver is actually the best.
Yeah, it is. Silver is a better connector. A lot of times they'll use gold on tips just because it doesn't corrode and things like that. So it's they'll put that right at an exposed, joint somewhere. But
and a lot of that, I think, has to be just the psychological thing in society that gold is more valuable or something.
Yeah, I even had a guy ask me the other day. He's like, "Well, why don't you use gold?" And I had to explain the whole thing. And there's logic to it. But like even this amp we're playing through, this wavelength has like a silver transformer. There's silver wire in there. So here at this booth, they've kind of focused on that. They've kind of seen that, the benefits there. And so when we did it with a pickup, that we noticed it just immediately. I mean, the attack, the transients are faster. The top and bottom is not as truncated. It's more opened up. So there's so many differences that are really not so subtle.
So how many versions of the Zephyr pickups are there?
Right now, the Zephyr, there's a Zephyr humbucker set, neck and bridge. There's a Zephyr Telecaster, lead and rhythm, and then there is a Zephyr Strat. The Strat set is calibrated, so there is a neck, middle, and bridge. But yeah, so humbucker and Strat and Tele.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's hear some of this.
So first, I'll start with with this neck humbucker. Roll the tone down a little bit. And we'll go to both. Bridge pickup.
Sounds nice, man. Now, will these be available with like nickel covers and other covers?
I'm glad you asked, actually. The Zephyr silver pickups are conceived start to finish as Zephyr silver pickups. So the humbuckers are uncovered, and there's other different aspects about it, like the way that we are terminating the wires inside the coils. We're using single conductor cable on the humbuckers. If somebody needs something else, the custom shop is glad to make that for you, but it's not a Zephyr. So the Zephyr pickup, because all of this R&D went into this pickup, it is available in this embodiment. So a cover on it makes it something different. So that's when you use a custom shop pickup.
So you feel like if a cover, a nickel or other sort of metal cover were added that would change the tone?
Yeah, the covers that we use are about as tonally transparent as any cover. It's just that they, in an unpotted pickup, then you have another microphonic element, and because these are unpotted, this is how, like I said, this is how we've designed these pickups. So a lot of focus and energy has gone into this entire process so that these pickups are what they are. But like I said, man, Seymour Duncan's the king of custom shops, man. You want anything, you just call the custom shop and they will make it. But that name Zephyr means that it is these, it's these pickups. And
Okay.
if we release another Zephyr pickup, like if there's some other, a P90 or something like that later, then that will be that Zephyr P90,
Cool. Now these are shipping right now?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. We've been shipping for a while, and people are starting to hear them, and we know that that's what, everybody's been waiting for is, let us hear these things. We've heard all the talk, so let us play them, and, luckily Dave's had a chance to install them in his guitars. He's heard all other kinds of pickups in his guitars, and so he's had the chance to hear them.
Cool. Well, let's talk to Dave a little bit about, the guitars and why you chose the Zephyrs.
Well, I've been working with, I'm sharing a booth with Gordon Rankin of Wavelength Audio, and we both have come up with this idea together. And the guitars also have silver wiring and very high quality capacitors from Germany. So we've been working together, and I've been building guitars for, custom guitars for over 30 years now. And I've been using many pickups, mostly Seymours, but I've used every pickup, under the sun. And this has just been a really good experience.
How would you articulate the difference that you hear in these as opposed to what you've been using in your guitars in the past?
The ultimate in a pickup. It's hard to describe them like in in words, but they are unbelievable. I've tried them through a lot of different amps. Right before the show, we did a lot of recording with them through like many different amps, and they're awesome.
You feel like there's just a lot more clarity and articulation there?
It's clarity. The attack is like they're just really sensitive. They're just awesome. I mean, that's the only word I can use. And
That's a pretty ringing endorsement.
and the ultimate too. I mean, I've used a lot of them, and it's just, the copper's great too, but they're nothing like this.
Cool. Now, let's talk a little bit about these guitars, since I don't think we've done a video with you before on your guitars. So you want to tell us just briefly the woods and any other highlights of the guitars before we go?
Sure. Actually, the whole process here was like, a unit. We built these guitars around the pickups. Actually, they've got the pickups first, but this is like an Esquire style with just a bridge pickup, and the body's made out of really lightweight ash. And the neck is a maple neck. And I sculpted the body too, where, I do a lot of work up here in the 22nd fret, and this horn always gets in my way at the back of my hand, so it had to come off. And I think it looks really nice too, the whole way this flows here. And it's very practical. It's not just, doing something to do it. It's a very practical thing to do.
Cool. Let's take a look at the back.
I put the minimum amount of lacquer on this just to seal it up, but I really think if you put too much lacquer on it, it really ruins the tone.
Looks like you've got a satin finish neck, or that's not unfinished, is it?
No, it's a satin finish also, and this is a one-piece body on this one.
All right, David, so where can people go to find out more about your guitars in general?
My website's SchneiderGuitars.com.
Cool. And of course, Frank, people can always go to
SeymourDuncan.com.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Have a good show. I'm Shawn Hammond. Thanks for watching PremierGuitar.com.